Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanam Timirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Tadanti Swapadantikam Andeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagharajatam Sahana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधु भवेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। सर्व उपनिषदो गावः दोक्ता गोपालनंदना पार्थावत्सु सुधीर भोक्ता दुक्तम गीतामृतम महत्. Out of compassion and mercy, the Lord has given us this wonderful literature called Bhagavad Gita, which has all the information that one should really need for their success in their life. They don't need to look for anywhere else. This one scripture, one book is sufficient enough to make our life successful. Do not worry about, we should not be worried about, I haven't read this one, I haven't done this one, I still have to read this literature, that scripture, Vedas, so many things. Not enough, not necessary. This one scripture is enough which can answer everything and take us home back to Godhead. The Lord has created this entire creation. In the 7th and 8th sloka, last class, where we ended, we saw the creation, the primary creation as well as the secondary creation is created by the Lord Himself. The creation of the tattvas, the matter that is needed, the ingredients that is needed for the creation, pancha bhuta, pancha indriya, pancha tanmatram, all those different things is created by Him. And then also after that, the creation of the beings, the creation of the living entity is also done by the Lord. That is what we saw in the previous sloka. Visarjami punah, Visarjami punah. Again and again and again. Bhuta gramam imam krishnam avasham prakritir vasat. He keeps creating beings every time. Punah, again and again. So, as he said in the 8th sloka, we should also understand one important point. Then he's saying in his creating the living beings, actually the living beings are not get created. Meaning the Atma never get created. 2070 budget is 1 million Atmas. right? It's not like that. When he's saying Visrujami Punah Punaha, when he's creating again and again, what he talks about is the body, not the not the Atma that is getting created. Right? Atma never gets created. We should understand this very basic principle, because if it gets created, it has a starting point. Why it should not have a starting point? Then it defeats the principle of what Atma is, property of an Atma, quality of an Atma. Atma is eternal. Atma is eternal. Anadi means never have a starting point. Right? Therefore, the Atma cannot be created. Whenever we hear God creates us, it literally what it means is that it's creating our bodies, not the Atma itself. We exist, God exists, everything exists. The Prakriti exists, the fundamental teachings of Bhagavad Gita. The Prakriti exists. Prakriti means this material thing exists. God exists. Atma exists. Right? Karma exists, but here's the difference. There's three things that exist doesn't have an end start point and end point. Whereas karma doesn't have a start point, but it has a end point. That's where it differs. Karma is not eternal. It's anadi. We can't trace back the karma. It's anadi. It starts. We never know when it started. We've been accumulating life after life after life. But can it end? Yes, it can end. Can Atma end? No, it can't end. Atma has to exist. Even after the moksha, Atma exists. Therefore, Arjuna had a question. Krishna, you said, so you are the creator? Krishna says, yes, I am the creator. So you create everything? Yeah, I create everything. What about this beast, animals, aquatics, trees, mountain, human? Of course, I am the creator. Well, if you are the creator, has a problem there. What's the problem? Problem is why there are differences. Okay, yes, we have to have variety of things. You have to have animals, you have to have trees, you have to mountain, all those things. Okay, yes, you have to have varieties, everything is fine. But first of all, that's not acceptable. That's okay. But second point is within human, which I can see, there are rich people, there are poor people. Someone is handsome, someone is ugly. Someone is born healthy, someone is born with some defects in their body. Some live long, some live short. Some are born in a higher caste, some are born in a lower caste. Some are very intelligent, some are not. Therefore, there are differences. Right? Krishna says, yes. That means you are the cause. You are the cause of the differences. Why do you create such a differences? Right? Therefore, something wrong in your creation. There's fault in your creation. Obviously, there should not be any differences. Everyone should be treated equally. That's what we all talk. Everyone has to be treated equally. But in your creation, it doesn't seem to be right. There's some flaw in your creation that you see differences. Um, Vishama Buddhi means there's a differences, injustice in the way that you deal with people. So Vishama Buddhi, you seem to be having some Vishama Buddhi, means there's the dealings with your creation doesn't seem to be right. Therefore, to answer that question, Krishna starts this sloka, 9th sloka. Let's start 9th sloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nacha mam tani karmani. Louder. Nacha mam tani karmani. Nibadnanti dhananjaya. Udasinavad asinam. Asaktam teshu karmasu. This sloka is quite interesting, important, philosophical, And spending time on this sloka will give us a proper understanding of many things, answers many questions that we need to be clear about. So, Arjuna's question is: we see differences in the world. Why God has to create some country as a nice country, wealthy country? Some country have to be banned to enter into America, right? So why the differences? Why there are differences? There should be something wrong in your creation. So that's what Arjuna's concerns and questions are. So Krishna is saying that Nachamam Tani Karmani, the karmani means the term karma says the karma, the activity that I just told you. What's the karma? What karma here is not the action, reaction, papa punya karma. Here the karma refers to an action. In 7th and 8th sloka, Krishna told he does some action, karma. And that is the karma he is talking here. Nachamam Tani Karmani, the karma that I told you just now in 7th and 8th sloka, the creation, that Nibandhanti Dhananjaya. Nibandhanti means, Bandham means entanglement. Nibandham means doesn't entangle me. Does not entangle me, Dhananjaya. Krishna's another name is Dhananjaya. I simply take a position. Udasinavat asinam. Udasinam. Udasina means taking a position, neutral position. Udasinam. And you go and ask someone, what do you think about it? They will say, neither say yes, they will say neither, they will neither say nor say no, not. They will just smile. We have to understand. Okay, he doesn't want to take a side of anyone, right? Just leave it. Right? So like that, udhasina vat. Udasina vat means like like a neutral person. That's what udasina vat means. It's really not neutral, but it takes a position like a neutral person. Udasinavat asinam asaktam teshu karmasu. Therefore, I am not bound by any of these things or get attached to it. I am completely asaktam. I'm completely detached from all these things. So nachamamtani karmani nimadnante dhananjaya udasinavat asinam asaktam teshu karmasu. Now, the way that we are going to see this sloka is by the Acharya's commentary is like a person is opposing party, challenging Krishna, and there's going to be a responding party, right? The two parties are OP and RP. So opposing party is going to challenge Krishna with some questions, and there's going to be a response to that person. How we are going to see this one. So the very first thing is first question. Since you are the cause of even the creation, secondary creation, that's a difference, then you are responsible for the differences within the creation. Animals, men, etc., etc. Right? So many things. So Krishna is saying, or the response to that is, Nachamam tani karmani nibadnanti. I am not affected. The person is saying, you will take the cause of it. Because you have made the differences, you have to get reaction of it. Like how we do good karma, we get good reaction. We do bad karma, we get bad reaction. Because God is created like this, so therefore God has to get reaction. So Krishna is telling, no, that's not the way it works with me. That's not the way. So, Nachamam tani, Nachamam tani karmani, my karma, that action that I perform, the creation, nibadnante, that's not bound into the calculation that you think. Why that you have certain rule and I have certain rule? We might ask. You have certain rule. For when you do, there's no karma affecting you. When I do, karma is affecting me. So that's the easier problem. How can you say that? Udasinavat asinam asaktam teshu karmashu. For example, we are sending children to school. One teacher is teaching 10 students, right? In America, 10 students, 15 students. In India, 50 students, 60 students. Right? 80 now is increased. And that 80 for one grade is not one grade. There are A grade, B, C sections are there. There are A to Z sessions, and one class will have 80 students for 7th grade, 6th grade, like that, right? So, anyway. So, like that, a teacher is teaching to 10s and 20s of students. So, teacher teaching students. Now, when the students writes an exam and gets a grade, some students A, some students are B, some students are D, A plus plus. So, what is the role of a teacher here? Does she decide you get A, you get B, you are failed? Does she do that? No. She doesn't do it. As a common person, as a teacher, she's giving the same information to all the students. But it's an individual person, how he performs or she performs to get a right grade. Therefore, Krishna is telling, I am not cause of the differences. As a common person, I'm providing and I'm creating. But I am not cause of the differences. Still, it's not very clear to things. We'll see how that is. I simply take a neutral position, and that's all it is. I'm not connected anyway. Well, will Arjuna get sin by killing people? Krishna's response is Arjuna is going to kill people now after this whole discussion. Will Arjuna get sin or not? By now we should know the answer. By who said yes? Is the Kshatriya Dharma, he has to fight. Therefore, according to his Kshatriya Dharma, he is not going to be punished, he is going to be awarded, in fact. But if I, who's not a Kshatriya, go and kill, I have to be punished because that's not my role. Police punishing someone, a judge giving a statement, they are not going to be punished. I'm giving a sentence, I'm punishing someone, I will get punished because I am not in that role. Therefore, Krishna's question is, or the response is that asking a question, is Arjuna going to be get Papa or not by fighting this? The answer is obviously no. So why I should get? I'm doing my duty as God. I'm creating in the way it's supposed to be created. Therefore, when Arjuna should not get, you should not get reaction. Why should I get reaction for my duty? This is my duty. Similarly, I will not get reaction. It is by the power of the nature, the prakriti, that one gets such a body. So how does the difference happens in the body? You are like this, I am like this, he is like that, she is like that. Why so many differences in the body? It's just because of the nature, prakriti. Prakriti is what defines the creation. Right? Because of the prakriti, everyone gets a body. Then the opposing party tells interesting thing. Then it should be the nature that cause of everyone's creation, not you. When we read the Vedanta Sutra and the commentaries, if we really study in a proper systematic way the literature that we have, we'll be completely convinced all the answers are there for any sort of questions. These things are exactly there in the commentaries and in the Shastra. They, not now, this is written hundreds of years back. They already thought about it. What all people will ask questions, challenging Bhagavad Gita, challenging God. They already thought about it. There's no one can say there's no answer for anything. Answers are exactly there. They're more advanced, thoughtful. They know Kali Yuga is coming 2016, 2017, 18. How people will be. They know very well. So they have answers. It's just we don't have time to sit and study all those things. If we study, no one can ever, shake our faith in God, in spirituality. We are not so because we are not convinced, because we are not studying these things, unfortunately. So the person is asking, so if Prakriti is the cause of the body that I'm going, this is Prakriti, this body, and the entire Mahan, the Prakriti, which is what creating and giving me the body, then why do you exist? You're not the creator. Prakriti is the creator. And the response is, the Prakriti, understand, Prakriti is a jada, matter. Prakriti does not have intelligence. The computer does not have intelligence. You might be thinking, I have a fantastic laptop, fantastic computer, 10 GB RAM and, fast processing this one and hard drive is, whatever it is. Everything is fine. But it doesn't have intelligence by itself. It doesn't have any intelligence. It's just a matter. Like that, the Prakriti is also doesn't have intelligence. It cannot. Can you think of this wooden piece and this building get together and discuss? Let's create a body now. Let that body be like this. Can they do this? The matter cannot decide things. Matter is just a tool to produce things, but it cannot create by itself. Someone who is conscious, matter does not have consciousness. Someone who is conscious have to use a tool called this Prakriti to create something. Correct? So laptop is simple. The laptop is available. Best laptop, you just got it right from market now, the latest one. But it can be only useful if the person who's having that consciousness, intelligence, can start taking it and doing something, installing software, then this laptop becomes usable and really appreciable. Correct? Otherwise, what's the use of simply having the laptop which has all the high grade things installed and configured into it? Doesn't going to make any difference. Like the response to this is Prakriti can't be cause of differences, as they don't have intelligence. They are just tools that are. It is simply because of now answer comes slowly, slowly. You can see how it's Krishna, how we are getting to understanding of what's the difference, who creates this one. It is simply because of one's karma, differences are coming. Right? A person is very intelligent. Right? Someone is very beautiful. Someone is born in a very rich family. It's not by just by fluke, just by some combination. Just God one fine day sat on a day and he put all the written sheet, something like this, like this, and he picked someone. Hey, this Atma, you be the president. This Atma, you be Narayana. This Atma, like this. It doesn't do this, shuffling and then picking up in a random. And we all become like a toys in the hands of God, right? That means He decides however He wants to create, and we just Ashok ji gave this toy, Mr. Potato. What's it? Mr. Potato. You know about this Mr. Potato toy? He gave this toy, and then this potato toy is it has all the parts and that holes. You can put the wherever you want, however you want, you can put it. You can put the eye into the ear, this hole, nose into the head, however you want to do. We are not the Mr. Potato in hands of God. And however he wants to play and do things and make, it's not like that. It's simply because of one's karma, one becomes beautiful, handsome, rich, very educated, very knowledgeable. Some kids are so bright, they can just pick up just like that. Some has to do a lot of work to remember and do things. Why is though? It's all because of one's karma that they are. So we cannot do anything about that. So that's the response now. See what's going to be the opposing question now. It's asking, I thought Prakriti. So this it's not Prakriti, it's karma. Right? Therefore, karma is doing its action by itself. Right? Pushing one to be born, do things. So what is your role then? What is God's role then? Because of karma, the creation has to be happen in such a way. Therefore, differences. What is your role? You are just nothing. Correct? So for that, it's saying again, karma is also, we should understand, karma is also achit. Doesn't have chit, doesn't have consciousness. It is also just a law. That's all. It doesn't have consciousness. It's like the government has a law. Right? Law has to be executed by someone. Law by itself cannot go and jump on someone. Right? A last statement is right. Whatever the laws are there. It's just like karma is like laws, the rules, and something which get executed. To make it get executed, obviously an executor should be there to make it executed. Because this is achit, it doesn't have intelligence, doesn't have consciousness. Therefore, one who has consciousness, again the same thing. One who has consciousness have to make sure this karma goes to exactly to that person. Right? Otherwise, karma can also make fun or make a game. My karma can simply jump into that person. Your karma can come into myself, and everyone hey, why am I getting this? Hey, it's your karma by it's like sometimes someone's you deposit a check, and it goes to someone's account, right? Right? If it is my account, someone's money coming in, that's no problem. If my money goes to someone, then that's a problem, right? But just imagine karma works in such a way. It doesn't matter. There's some bunch of karma. Somehow it has to be given to some people. It doesn't matter. So I do some bad karma, you suffer. You do good karma, I enjoy. It's not that way. So someone who is very, very pakka, perfect in keeping accounts, right? The accounts can only be held or hold by a person who is very smart, very super conscious, right? Only by that person the karma can be applied back. Karma is achit. Therefore, I have to be Arjuna. I have to be there. Use this karma. Use this prakriti to create a body. based on their karma, what they've done in previous lives. Therefore, you see, whatever you are trying hard to remove me from the picture, it's not going to work. I have to be there. Yata sannidam matena gandaha shobhayo jayate manaso nopakatrivet tatasu parameshwaraha. So, how a flower as a fragrant, right? Fragrance. Is fragrance separate from flower? Flower separate from fragrance? But are they two different entities? Fragrance is a smell. Flower is a flower. Right? They are two different things, but they are one. Like that, even though when you take a flower, you take to someone's, you smell the jasmine flower or rose or what. That means the smell has gone into you as a smell. Right? You can feel it. It has been separated to some extent, but at the same time, it is there. God is saying, I am like that. I am completely detached. Even though I am there, I am completely detached. I am not affected by anything for that matter. So, for the primary creation is simply, so Krishna is trying to say the primary creation is simply because of why God has to create in first place this world. We should understand that part. Correct? Differences is other thing. Why in the first place? Because there is a knife which has been invented and created. People are using knife to kill people. Can we say that? Therefore, the knife shouldn't have been invented, it should be banned. Can we say that? It doesn't make sense. Then you have to, how are you going to cut vegetables? How are you going to do surgeries? Right? So it's a matter of who gets a knife. That's how it changes. If it gets into someone who's cooking, it's used for vegetable cutting. Someone for a doctor is going to use for surgery. For a terrorist, killing others. So for that matter, we should not ban the knife or these weapons, but we should not blame the creator because of that reason. But it just depends on how the use it's been used by which person. So therefore, we should not blame the creation of God. We should not be blaming creation of God. There is a real reason why God has created this world. Leelavattu Kaivalyam. One reason is Leelavattu Kaivalyam for his own enjoyment. The Vedanta Sutra says Leelavattu Kaivalyam means he wants to also enjoy. You enjoy, I enjoy. God also wants to enjoy. He also wants to discern, like take different avatars and perform activities and etc. One reason Leelavattu Kaivalyam, he wants to also descend into the world and have fun over here. Second reason that he created this world is simply because of his own compassion and mercy. If God does not create this world, guess what's going to happen to Atmas? Atma has his karma. Yes? Atma has his karma. Whether it's born or in a unborn state, doesn't matter. Karma is attached on a certain level to each and every Atma. Now, what is moksha? Getting rid of karma. Getting rid of karma and going back to God. That is moksha. So, to get rid of the karma, what's the process? How can one get rid of the karma? Huh? One has to have the body as a vehicle to get rid of the karma. You see? So for one have to have a body to get rid of the karma, naturally that person should also have a place to execute his karma action. For that reason, God has created this world, so Atma can come into this world and perform an activity in such a way the karma can be removed and no karma can be accumulated and everything is finished and they can go back. It is simply because of God's causeless mercy, compassion that is created this world. But what we are saying, why you even created this place? Therefore, I'm making mistakes. We are not understanding the purpose of creation. The purpose of creation is for you to rectify yourself all our mistakes that we have done and not commit any more mistake and refine ourselves. For simple reason is that the jail is not a permanent place. For politician it is for some time. They like to settle down there and because every facility TV is there. They get newspaper, they have cell phone, they have everything. Hey, extend another one more month. They like to settle there, settle down. That's not what it is. But in reality, a prisoner or the jailer or the supervisor, superintendent of the jail, his idea is not to make a permanent residency of these people, all the prisoners. They somehow or the other want to this the prisoner to be refined from all their mistakes, become normal like other people, so that they can get out of this jail and live normal like the people around, so they can live a happy life outside. That is why the jail has been provided. That is why there's a process of refining these people inside, so they can be a normal people like any other people. Likewise, the world is created for us to get refined, but we are not understanding that. We continue to do the same mistake. Therefore, we again come into the world. In other words, come into the jail again and again and again and again and again. So you're not going to get released. We are not going to get released until we are refined and free of all the bad thoughts, sins, everything. We are not going to be released. Right? We have to be qualified to be in a public. Otherwise, police is not going to, the judges, the police is not going to release us from the jail. Similarly, the Prakriti, God, under the Prakriti, which is under the guidance of God, is not going to release us from this world unless and until we are refined, completely free from the karmas, and we can go back. That is the qualification is needed. So that is what has been told here. The second reason of the differences is simply because of individual karma. The first reason is because of God's compassion, God's mercy that He's created this world. The second reason is for the individual people to execute that karma and get rid of the karma. Therefore, it has been created. This has been created. Nimittamatram eveshu shristanam sarga karmani pradana karini bhuta etovai sriji saktayah. Now, God, nimitta matram. Nimitta matram means, again, it's a udasina vat, is similar to the nimitta matram. He just takes that particular nimitta matram, he just get he just let things happen on his own accord. Sometimes he became a watcher, not an helpless watcher. Right? We don't have a control of certain things, we just watch, let things happen. What can we do? It's not like that. He has all the control, but he stays there for things to get happen so that the karma can go on. He doesn't want to interfere in between and change the program, right? The Lord at time of creation takes a neutral position and create based on individual karma. This is from Vishnu Purana, this particular slok. Nimitta matram evesho. He takes a neutral position, and based on individual, at the time of creation, based on the individual karma, he creates the people accordingly. According to, you have to be born in this place, you have to be like this. He just accordingly, he just creates. Vaishamya Nairgrigrena Sapekshavat. This is Vedanta Sutra. This is directly from Vedanta Sutra. The Vedanta Sutra says God, Vishama Bhukti, he does not have Vishama Bhuti. Vishama Bhuti means Vaishamyam. Vaishamyam means he does not have some, he is my favorite person. I don't like him. This Atmas, I like these Atmas. This Atmas, I don't like this Atma. Therefore, let them suffer. This Atma, let them enjoy. Vaishamya means this buddhi of Vishama buddhi. He doesn't have such things. He doesn't have such things. This mentality, like how we deal with our people, we think God also is like that, right? We treat our friends very nicely. Those whom we don't like, we don't treat them very nicely, right? Things like that. He doesn't have Naigrihana means he's compassionate. He's more compassionate. Not that he's not compassionate. He's compassionate to anyone and everyone. That we don't see it. We don't see it. He compassionate anyone and everyone. That is what we need to understand from this particular statement. Sadhukari, sadhu bhavati, papakari, papi bhavati. Punye punye karmane bhavati papaha papena. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says that as the spirit soul acts, so he becomes. Whatever we do, acts we perform, that's what we become. If he acts piously, he becomes a saint. If he acts impiously, he becomes a sinful person. Correct? Whatever one practices, that's what they become. That becomes a person. Right? So someone forwarded me this video on WhatsApp, that nice short clip. The person was telling a story. The story is, this person is an archer. This person is an archer, is a Chinese archer. So whatever the distance is, however it is, he can exactly release his arrow and reaches a target. He is very expert in that area. So he was doing it. When he does that, all the people around, they clap their hands. Well done, wonderful, wonderful. And there's only one man who was not clapping his hands. He was sitting there, and it's just matter of fact. He was passing a statement. It's just matter of fact. This archer looked at him, didn't bother him because 99 people are clapping, one person doesn't matter. So again, another challenge came. He did it again, successful. Well done, well done. It's just matter of fact. What's the big deal about it? So now, when the whole world is praising you and one person is not praising you, you don't care about the whole world. You're thinking about this one person who's talking bad about you, correct? That's our mentality. Human mentality is what? We want 100% vote. Every single person should think me I am a best, good, genuine, charitable, knowledgeable, etc. person. One person doesn't think we work so hard to prove that person is wrong. Now he has to change to understand, like other people. I am all, you should better join the other people. You're wrong, right? So this archer couldn't control any further because it was going on continuously. This man is telling it's just matter of fact. It's just matter of fact. So he walked to him. He said, "Hey, why you keep selling this? Can you do what I did? Take this bow and arrow. Come on, come on. Do this." This man said, "I'm very sorry. What you did, I can never do." Then you should be quiet. You should not be talking like this. Why do you say it's matter of fact? It is not simple. You understand this, right? He said, "I very well understand it. But let me tell you something." He said, "Come over here." So he had this big, like this bottle, the big base, but the top of the neck of this bottle is so narrow, very narrow, but the base is very big. The top is very narrow. This man said, "Watch what I'm doing," and he got a bucket of oil, and then what it is from a distance, he, like that he did, and every oil without even one drop went straight into the very narrow, thin path, entered into the pot. Again he did, not one spilled out of the bottle from his hand. Everything went in. He said, "Can you do it?" To the archer, he said, "Can you do it?" That man said, "I can't do it." Therefore, this man said, "Therefore, I said, it's matter of fact. It's matter of practice. It's matter of practice. What you practice, what you will become. If you practice to juggle with your words, jugglery, cheat others, you can become master in cheating others by your talents, right? If you want to become an expert politician, you can become an expert politician by practice. If you want to become a best speaker, by practice you can become best speaker. How you will become good mathematician? Do a lot of math. You become a mathematician. Besides your karma factor, right? Anything, if you want to become a good person, practice to be a good person, right? One has to practice. If you want to be kind to others, start doing kind things to others, then you'll be a kind person. Everything matter of practice. If you don't practice and you think, "I'm not getting it," how will you get it without any practices? You're joining a Sangeetam class. If you're joining, right, you go to class, you come back, that's it. 10 years you go, come back, come back. Will you be a Vidwan? You have to do what after coming back from the class? Practice. You practice, whether it's a violin or whether it's a dance, or one has to practice. Unless one practices, one cannot become master in that area. To develop compassion, one has to practice. To be kind, one has to be practicing. To talk nicely to others, pleasing to others, that's a practice one has to do. By doing so, it becomes a thing. That is what Krishna is saying. If you want to be a good person, you can be a good person. If you want to become a bad person, you easily become a bad person. It's not a big deal. What you practice, what you want to become. Right? That's what's been told. Again, It's not living. It's continuing. But we see many quotations from the Shastra. This is getting into more philosophical thing, right? But we see many quotations from the Shastra that at the beginning or before the time of creation, nothing exists. That's a true statement. Nothing exists except Brahman, God. If that's the case, where does the karma comes into the picture at the time of creation? Therefore, it seems you have Vaishamya is not living that point. Vaishamya buddhi, Vaishamya, right? I learned because when you are talking to a learned person, such things, then they know how to talk, and this in olden days, this is the two parties get together and they have argument not for the fighting sake to increase their knowledge, not just they don't agree to it to increase their knowledge, increase their understanding of Shastra. They argue to each other. It benefits both the parties. Not like nowadays, without any knowledge, without reading anything, they say God doesn't exist. Rama has made mistake leaving his wife over there. How many times he did? Krishna behind woman steals. So we are different. How much you read, first of all, you can talk about these things. Correct? That's the first question. Have you read any of these things properly, systematically? So you can talk and argue about against what's been told in Bhagavad Gita, what is told in Mahabharata and Ramayana and the Puranas and all these things. We don't even have any understanding, and we are arguing about such matter. What's the benefit of it? It's waste of time. Therefore, this person who is talking here is having complete knowledge. Therefore, he's posing all these questions. He is saying here that Shastra says at the time of creation nothing exists except that Brahman, God Himself. Nothing exists. And where is the question of karma? Therefore, you create, right? Yes, I create. When you create, you're creating this differences, right? Yes, I create. But you said karma. Where is the karma? Therefore, you're the one who caused. It's nothing like that. He said. So the question, where do you find such statements that nothing exists before except God? Yes, it is there in Chandogya Upanishad. Tat eva saumyam idam agre asit ekam eva advatiyam. Advatiyam means advatiyam means there is no second. Dvayam means two. Advayam means single, one. Second doesn't exist. There's no second exists. Only one exists. Sat, that is God, Brahman. Only He exists, nothing else exists. You see the statement? In Chandogya Upanishad it says that. Not only that, there's another statement of Maha Upanishad. What is it? Ekavai Narayana Asin na Brahma, na Ishano, na po Nagne Saman Neme Dho Aprithvi, na Nakshatrani, na Surya. You see, there is no Nakshatra, there is no Surya, there is no Chandra, there is no Rudra, not Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma. Ekovai Narayana. Maha Upanishad, only Narayana exists. So when all the statements are so clear in the Shastra, how can you create differences over here in the beginning? And therefore, this person says, understand the karma is beginningless. First thing is, understand the karma is beginningless. Karma is not, the creation does not happen one time. Creation itself multiple time happens. When the creation started, no one knows. Right? What you are taking is one particular section, you're telling at the end of this pralaya, then you create, correct? Yes, I create. But when the pralaya happened, means that they were existing, something was existing, correct? That means the creation happened even before that. Before that pralaya, before that creation, before that pralaya, before that creation. This is a cycle going on and on and on and on. This is not the very first time I'm creating, right? Therefore, the karma is not just for that creation. The karma is stick to this person, creation after creation after creation after creation. Even the pralaya happens, the destruction happens, the karma is not going to be wiped off. You're not making a clean disk hard drive, clean up everything, and company standard back to company standard. It's not like that. Right? The karma is still going to continue at any number of creation. If Jiva is beginningless, then why you say you are creator? Another question is, you are saying Jiva is beginningless, correct? Krishna says, yes, Jiva is beginningless. I am also beginningless, Jiva is also beginningless. I am also Anadi, Jiva is also Anadi. People sometimes say, people sometimes orphan, right? Orphan means anadi. They don't have a beginning. Anadi means they don't have father and mother. Anadi, right? Orphan children. But no one is anadi. No one is anadi. No one is an orphan in hands of God. God is the supreme father. Therefore, no one should say that I don't have husband. My husband is gone. My father is gone. My etc. etc. No one is like that. For everyone, God is the father, God is the mother, God is the guardian, God is the protector, God is the one factor that no one can apply, husband. Right? Right? If two friends are there, if someone is, someone, two close friends are there, and that friend is died, this friend can tell to the friend's wife that don't worry, I am here. I will give you money. I'll take care of all that you need. I'll be taking care of your children, etc. And I'll be your husband. Right? Can he say that? He can't say that. He can't say that. But only one person can say that. That's God. Anyone who doesn't have husband, anyone who doesn't have parents, for everyone is a shelter. God is there. So no one is an orphan, really speaking. It's just a matter of educating people in such a way so that they can get more strength to the real father than this mortal father who is anyway going to go. Right? So that's understanding. So the question has been asked here, if Jiva is beginningless, then why say you are the creator? I am the creator of the body. These jivas are all part and parcel of me. They cannot be separated. They coexist with me. Because of my will, they exist. Because of my will, my exist. When I am born, when I come out of the womb of the mother, I come with this body. Not after I come back, twing, hand comes out after 1 year. Suddenly nose pops out after 2 years. It's not like that. As a birth means complete package comes out. God means He exists with all the opulences. We are all His opulences. I have a car, I have a house, I have a wife, I have a child, I have a father. This is all my opulences. One can say this all belongs to me. Like that, Jiva also belongs to God, part and parcel of God. I am the creator of everything. Tadedam tarhi avyakritam asit tan nama rupabhyam yeva kriyate. Chando Upanishad. In the previous Upanishad, this person was stating, right, everything doesn't exist. Now it is said in Chandogya Upanishad, it exists, the Jiva exists, not that it never existed, as I started creating. Jiva exists, but they exist in the no Rupa, no Nama. Nama, Rupa, Vibhagam. There is no difference, no name, no any of those. They still exist. When the Jiva exists, therefore understand the karma also exists. This is the point, this is being told here. When Jiva can exist, as per this Chandogya Upanishad, understand karma also exists. Na jayate mreyate va kadachin. This sloka is interesting sloka. This sloka is exactly the same sloka in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. You can turn your pages and see later. The second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, similar sloka. The only difference is vipachin. Vipachin, the term vipachin has been used. Kadachin has been used by Krishna. But the message is same message. Na jayate mriyate va vipachin nayam kutaschan na babuha kaschit. Ajo nityam saswato ayam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Same sloka. Pretty much same sloka in seconds. That the Atma cannot, Atma is not born, does not come into being, does not die, all those different things. Because Atma is eternal. Atma is not matter, it is spirit. Only matter gets born. Therefore, understand my karma is attached to the Atma. Atma is Anadi. Karma is Anadi. They continue to exist, coexist. And I am the one who executes these things as per their karma, provide them the body. Okay, now Suryo Chandramaso Dhatu Yata Purum Akalpatho. He recreates the world with the sun, moon, etc. the same way all over again and again at the pralaya. This is the point what I just told. The creation happens every time. It's not one time creation. The Surya get created, Chandra gets created, all this get created, Nakshatra get created. Again they all go into pralaya, again it get created. It's not one time creation. Creation happens often and often and often. Right? It's been told. In the 13th slok chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is going to tell the same thing. Met prakritim purusham chaiva viddi anadi ubho api. Vikramamscha gunamschaiva vidhi prakriti sambhavan. Material nature and the living entity should be understood to be beginningless. Their transformation and the modes of matter are products of material nature. Again, just a confirmation. Now, as a concluding thing, what's been told, almost concluding of the sloka, we say this Krishna is saying, therefore understand that pradhana karana is one's karma. Apradhana karana is God. So we have to understand this term. Pradhana means primary cause. Primary cause for the differences that we see is what's karma. Apradhana means secondary cause. Right? Not the primary cause, secondary cause is God is involved. God is involved to get this creation. How is that? How can we understand? So if you see a farmland, a farmer is there, a land is there, farmer is there, and he has the fertilizers, whatever is needed to fertilize his land. The season is there, right season should be there, right? So with all these things together, he seeds, sows a seed. After 1 year or after the season comes, you can see in a farm, in a 10-acre farm, on the southern side, mango tree, on the northern side, coconut tree, on the eastern side, corn plants, on the other side, some other tree. So you might come and ask, 1 year back when I came here, I saw you cultivating this land, but why I see differences? Is your land, the fertilizers were same, the season were same season, and when you put all this thing, and then you supplied water to everything seemed to be same, the process seemed to be same. But why do I see differences in your land? Mango tree, coconut tree, banana tree, apple tree, why so differences? The farmer is going to tell what? Yes, the facilities and tools and everything are same, but the seeds differ. Based on what the seed is, what is going to come out, right? God has provided this world. God has given us the facilities. These are all common things. Apradhana karana. Apradhana karana means he became the cause for providing these facilities. But pradhana karana of differences is what? Not God. The seed. This is mango seed. You have to get not coconut. Obviously, you have to get mango. Why you are like this? Is because of your seed of karma. Therefore, you are like this. I am not the cause of it, but I am the one. Make sure, give the facilities so that your karma can get executed, come into existence. That is what's been told here as an example. Therefore, apradhana karna, I take a position as a udasinavat asinam. The sloka, right? Third line. Udasinavat asinam. I take a neutral position. I do not call for a decision at that point of time based on the karma. Simply, I create beings. Here comes another point to understand. That is, before we get into the other point, Abrahma, Astamba, Paryanta, Jagadantar, Vyavastitaha, Pranina, Karma Janita, Samsara Vasa Vastina. In the Vishnu Dharma, it is said, from the mighty Brahma to the smallest insect, a blade of grass, all the living entities are bound by their karmas. They are not liberated souls. They are born to experience the fruits of their karma. This is from Vishnu Dharma. Starting from Brahma himself. Does Brahma have karma or not? Just for the sake of asking. What do you think? Very good. Brahma is also affected by karma. Right? If he is not affected by karma, you should not be Brahma. You should be with Mahavishnu, Vishnu, Narayana in Vaikuntha Loka. Because he is affected by karma, he is given a highest post because of his good karma. He is become a Brahma. Starting from Brahma down to the insect, small insect, Kita, right? Every single thing is affected by karma. They simply exercise their karma. No one is free, escape from this concept of karma. No one can ever get escape from this concept. They have to go through the karma and finish their karma. That's the only program. That's the only program that's been asked. And one can, there's also, it has been told that what are the different types, just a simple things to understand, what are the different bodies that one might get by making some offenses. If a person makes an offenses by word, some offenses by word, they might get a pakshi body or mriga body in the next life. Pakshi means bird, mriga means animals. And then if someone makes offense by body, harming someone physically, uh, they become take a body of stavaram, means plant body, right? Now, if someone makes offense by their thought process, mind, hey, look at him. I'm not telling. I'm already putting all calculation about that person, thinking bad about him or offending him mentally, things like that. That person will be born as the lowest of human, will get no options or less options to further progress into bhakti. He'll be born like that, not born like that. Therefore, one should understand based on the offenses. Based on the offenses, this person might get born into. This is just a simple way of understanding how the offenses can. But this is not limited, and it's very hard for us to come up with a program of chart or a list of because of this because of this. We cannot make a one-to-one mapping. There are many factors are involved for one to get certain body. This is simply for us to understand the seriousness of how one should be in their word, their bodily actions, and their thought process. For that, it has been told here how one should be careful. Otherwise, what in the Garuda Purana or even in the Bhagavata Purana, in the fifth canto of Bhagavata Purana, beautifully it is said that if you do not treat your uninvited guest who's coming to your house very nicely, what punishment you will get, right? Or if someone is coming to your house, or you're not treating them well, what punishment? Or you are simply staring at someone like as if you're going to burn someone out, right? For that, a special punishment. Or someone who is very much interested in opposite gender outside the bounds of their family life, right? And there is a very, 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 very special punishment has been awarded there. The Yamadutas have, when you go to these shops in the textiles in the garment shops, and you go to mall, you have what is it called? This huh? Mannequin which is dressed up nicely, right? They look pretty dressed. The dresses is only pretty when you buy and come and wear. It's totally different. It only looks nice when you see in the pictures and mannequin and all those different things. When you start wearing, go and exchange because it doesn't suit us many times. So man, like that over there, a person who is very much attached in the embracing of opposite gender, the Yamadutas has a very special what did he call man, mannequin that is made of gold. Gold. That is very nice. No, not simply gold. Rotten hot gold. Completely hot, burning hot, red hot. So this person will have to go and embrace that particular body. That is the punishment will be given to such details are that heavy. Too many details are there. It's not friction. It is not made up to create fear. If you don't believe, we can experience later. We don't want to, right? We don't want to. Just one more, then we can take questions, right? At least we'll cover one sloka, then we'll take questions. Do not forget, write down in your put it in your cell phone. So we might forget things. Okay. Now God takes three positions. This is very interesting. God takes three positions. In this Udasina, what is being told? Udasina means neutral, not biased, neutral position. Now, God, other than the neutral position, he also takes Anumanta. The second position, after neutral position, he takes a second position called Anumanta position. And third is called Dyutaka. So it's important that we understand this topic. Udasina means when a person takes a decision, makes some plans, God takes a role of Udasina. He does not interfere in anyone's thought process. You're going to make a decision, he just stays there. Let him decide whatever he wants to decide. Udhasina. Like how we saw the questions, we are going to see the similar questions here also. Why can't God be like this, like that, like that? We'll see that later. But let's understand the terminologies here. Anumanta, after he being Udasina position, I make a decision. God is Udasina, let him make a decision. When he makes a decision, he does not interfere. As soon as he makes a decision, God takes the second role, Anumanta, means he approves. He approves that action, right? This may be an argumental thing, but he approves that action. Let it happen. I approve that. Let it happen. Right? Third thing he takes another position is not only approves. Third thing is Dyutaka means then he encourages that person to make it happen. He encourages and give facilities and whatever need to be done for that person to get what he decide to happen. Does that not mean whatever we decide is going to sanction and let it happen? I want to become president of America, let it happen. It's not like that. Again, it's all based on what karma. We should not forget that part, right? So this is what the three things are there: Udhasina, Anumanta, Dhyutaka. Right? Now, first question. First question, why has to be Udasina in first place? Correct? Why God has to be Udasina in first place? Now, if God is not, we'll see one question at a time. If God is not Udasina, then he has to take a dictator role. He has to take a role as a dictator. Why he has to take a dictator? Then what is the thing of individuality of each atma to make some liking and disliking and things like that, right? The God has to give a free will to atma to make choices. Otherwise, we all become like a robo. Yes or no? But we are not. We are not robo. We are conscious being. If we are conscious being, obviously there should be a free will to exercise that free will of what I want, what I don't want. So this person have to do whatever he wants to do. Therefore, God does not want to become a dictator and make us like a toys in his hands. Rather, he gives us a free will, freedom, not entire freedom, some freedom to do whatever decisions you want to make. Right? Therefore, he takes the first role as a Udhasina. Right. Now the second thing. Why he has to take the role of Anumanta and approve acts? If someone is going to make mistake, he approves. Someone is going to do good act, he approves. Well, why he has to do such things? When someone is going to make mistake, wrong act, why can't he stop at that point? Why he has to approve such things? Right? Why can't he be Udhasina and just at that point he should correct this person? So here we should understand that person taking a decision, making a decision is also based on the mode that he is in, based on the karma he is. Based on the karma, this person thinks such a way and he has to drain his karma or accumulate karma. Those karma programs should go on. Make sense? Those karma programs should go on. However, if God comes and interferes, and one thing is very true, we should accept that God do interfere at one point to all of us. Do you just think about situation where you are trying to commit some mistakes, right? Within yourself, don't we hear some voice telling us, hey, this is wrong, don't do that, don't do this is wrong, this is not the thing to do, right? God does speak, but it's we who ignore him, say, I am doing just you what I'm doing is correct, what I'm doing is correct, you just be quiet now, right? So God does interfere at points. It's just we don't hear the words of God. We think it's not correct, this thing is not what I'm doing is correct many times. So we get into all these things. Therefore, God takes an Anumanta role to approve. That's one reason. Second reason is, if God does not take a role of Anumanta, guess what? That's a big flaw in the concept of God. That means anything and everything can happen by itself without approval of God. Yes? Second problem is that first thing is, God has to take a role of Anumanta because of that reason. Why? Karma has to get executed. Second reason is that he has to take a role of Anumanta. If not, anyone can decide, no approval is needed. However, things can happen by itself. God is not involved himself. No. God has to interfere and make sure he approves, permits. Let it happen. Let it happen. Let it happen. So he grants for those two reasons. Now, for everything has to be executed as per the karma, why can't it be because of the Lord's mercy? One might ask this question. Well, we hear that God is compassionate, God is merciful, Why everything have to happen by karma? Why can't God be compassionate? Why can't God be compassionate and be kind to everyone? Right? So we should understand God is compassionate in many ways. It is not the way that we think He should be compassionate, but His way of compassionate we are not able to understand. He is compassionate in many ways, starting from the creation of this world, giving us the body, giving us the facility, giving us the instruction in the form of literatures, giving us the guru and acharyas and saintly people in our life. This is all compassion. It's just we who do not accept those things as His mercy. Right? We are thinking God is directly going to jump in front of us and do it. We are not so great where God can do that. We are not such a great devotee where God comes right in front of us to do this. And what great things we have done in bhakti. So God can come in. We attracted God in front of us. We have not done anything great for that reason. But God still, irrespective of whether we are a great devotee or a bhakta or not, still He continues to show His mercy in many forms, many ways, many things. He's giving us an opportunity to understand Him and come close to Him. Right? Those who take His words seriously are completely under His protection. Those who does not, still they are in protection, but it's going to take a long path, long way. Long means, in other words, they are under the protection of is another energy called Maya Shakti. Another energy called Maya Shakti. Why one has to, now the question may come, why one has to surrender to him? Why can't he simply give everyone and everybody bhakti? Right? The previous question is by why everything has to be executed per the karma? Why can't it be cause of Lord's mercy? Why can't God, by His mercy, give this one, remove this obstacle, everything, and take back? That is not going to happen by so easily. Then everyone will take advantage of it. That means what? You can do whatever nonsense we want to do. God is compassionate; He will forgive me. People might start misusing that option. If God is more compassionate, then what's the purpose of do good things? Don't do the bad things. What's the use of instructions? Why laws are needed? Nothing is needed. Because God is compassionate. Whatever I do, I'll go back to God. Therefore, that is not going to work. Correct? So why one has to surrender to, therefore one has to surrender to God. By surrendering to God, He takes care of all the karmas, removes all the karma. So that again, the same thing we already saw. Why can't He simply give everyone bhakti? Then bhakti becomes very cheap. The moksha and liberation becomes very cheap, and we can continue to do whatever nonsense, however we want to lead our life, and think that anyway I'm going to get liberated. That's the reason. So what's wrong? Everyone gets a bhakti. That's what we already saw. Now that covers this particular sloka, why God has created this one, how God is not affected by any of these things that we see in the world. God is not attached to any of these things. Everything happens by one's karma. Karma is the one which makes the differences in this world. God does not do this. But without God's involvement, nothing is going to happen. So God is the cause, primary cause, and God is the primary cause, and then the Atma that we are all Vishesha Karana. Vishesha Karana. Samanya Karana and Vishesha Karana. Samanya Karana is God who create the facilities, and Vishesha Karana is the Atma who executes and accumulates the karma and get reaction for it. But God keeps account of everything and repays things. Therefore, one should understand by we taking the shelter of God, Krishna, by taking the shelter of Krishna, one can easily remove all the karmas and in this very life, not after that life. By the process of jnana, karma, and other things, it will take many lifetime. Slowly, the karma will drain, and maybe after the 100 lifetime, we may go back to God. But by surrendering, Sharanagati, Prapati, by surrendering to God, what happens is there's a special deal. Right? There's always special deal during the holiday season. Special deals available, or some new presidency come, they make a special rule concession for something. Right? Like that, God gives a special deal. Those who surrender to me, I will take care of all their karma in this very lifetime. They don't need to come back again. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam saranam braja aham tam sarva papebhyo Mokshayasmi Masuchaha. 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is going to reveal this particular statement. What we are discussing is close to the same topic. Therefore, when we surrender to Krishna, everything is taken care. If we don't surrender to Krishna, then we deal everything by ourselves, work slowly to get rid of karma, which is going to be very hard program. It's not going to happen. With that, this sloka will stop and take some questions. Narayan. Answer is yes. Answer is yes. Maybe you'll get a big body of bird. I don't know. Or you'll take multiple small body of birds. I don't know the details. But it's all accounted. It's all accounted. Every single mistake, offenses, or good thing we are doing, everything will be accounted and we'll get back. How that's going to be got back, when it's going to get back, that's all hard subject to for the bird brain to think. Unlimited. How the God's power is unlimited, God's energies are unlimited. If you count Atma, that means you're putting a restriction into creation, to the opulence of God. God is limited only so much. I can tell what my bank balance is because I have a limited. Right? The top ranking richest man, he can tell how much he is. Still he is a top man, but still we can tell how much account he has, how much balance he has. But we cannot put God into a limitation of how much account you have. That cannot happen. No one has a count about it. His powers are unlimited, his energies are unlimited, his opulence are unlimited. Any other questions? Srinivas, please. Yeah, Padma Purana says 8.4 million types of different bodies are there. That he knows. That he knows. That we also saw. Jalaja Lavalakshani Stavara Laksha Vimshati. Right? That's the particular statements in Padma Purana says there are these categories of different bodies. Thank you. Yes, Nalini Mataji. Well, the world understood your question. The world, what we are saying, not limited to this Earth planet. The living entities exist everywhere. What we are thinking is living beings means only this Earth globe planet. But living entities are existing not just this universe. There are innumerable universes are there. The science now they are trying to find out. You cannot measure the universe. There seem to be different universes also there. So multiple universes. The body is not. If I die, not necessary. I have to be born in India again and come to America. I can be born on a different planet or I can be born into different universes, not necessarily as a human being. Can be a crow, can be a reptile. So that the population that we are seeing now, something are increasing, something are decreasing. Don't put restriction within the calculation of this world. The soul travels. The soul travels many places. Not on their own choice, on their God's will. Yeah. Human body, Durlabham Manushya Janmam. Prahlada, small boy, tells his father, Durlabham Manushya Janmam. Of all the 8.4 million Srinivas just said, 8.4 million, what is the rarest one to get? Manushya Janmam. Human body is rare. Therefore, use the human body as a jump board and get out. Don't come back again. Correct. Well said. Thank you, Sharavarji. Only human can perform karma, no other being. Yes,
Yes, I have a
Ranaji.
question. I had this discussion with one of my American friend, and he asked me this question related to myself. And I guess you're thinking from, like the judgment day and waiting for, like the judgment and all that stuff on that point of view. So he asked me this question: then when you die, how long you have to wait before you get another body based on your karma? And I said, well, I don't know why that matters or where the question was going, but I said, I don't know.
Now, when the Atma leaves the body, first thing is primarily based on the karma, they start executing things. It depends on the karma. This Atma can be hanging for some period of time without the body. Somewhere, somewhere it's unseen. Then, when the right time comes, as per the karma, it may take birth. Or this Atma, because of his karma, may straight go into the heavenly planetary system and enjoy there and come back. Or because of the bad deeds, it might go to the hellish planet and suffer there. Now, when it go to the hellish planet, what happens is, based on the papa it did, the body will be defined that what is the next body it has to get. So it is said that at that point of time, there will be a training period. Right? When you start a company, there's a 6 months period, right? Whether this you're ready to become a continue to keep this person or to be sent off. Like that, there's a training period. Because of my desire, because of my karma, when I get out of the hellish planet, I need to be born as a hog, pig, for example. So at that point of time, what happens is, over there, there's a training period is you already be given a temporary pig body. With a pig body, with your already human consciousness, you are in that pig body. Now you are going to a training period as a pig over there before you can come as a pig, actually take birth. Right? Now my consciousness is what? Just now I was a human. Now my body is like that, pig. Right? Now I'm feeling uncomfortable. Therefore, we know what pig eats in India. Right? This so the Yamadutas will bring that food in front of the pig. But I'm still remembering I'm a human. Will I eat that? I'm not going to eat that. Even though I'm a big body, I will not eat that. But that is what will be provided to us. One day I will fast, 2 day I will fast, 3 day I will fast, hungry. Now I'm hungry. I want to survive. I want to eat something so that I can live. Because now I'm getting attached to this big body. This is my body. I will die otherwise. So what I do? Hmm, slowly start tasting, vomit. Then what happens? Bring me more. That's the point. It is decided you are ready to be born as pig. You go down. So the point I'm trying, this is an example. The point is it completely depends on the karma factor. That person might be born immediately, right after the birth, somewhere else, right? On or maybe hanging around, or maybe going to the higher planetary system and finishing their karma and take back the other sanchita karma and come back again. There are many factors are involved of next birth.
So what do we call this phase that you are out of the body, but still you are not in another body or not on another planet or you are not back to the body, or as you say, you're floating around?
Bhutam. Bhutam means you are without a physical body. You are on a subtle state. Without subtle state, it's called bhutam. And that bhutam is suffering actually. That's why committing suicide, all those things is not very good act. Committing suicide, people try to think that I'm suffering now, let me kill myself. Actually, they're not understanding after they're killing themselves with this physical body, they according to their calculation, they have to live certain period of time. But they made a choice of killing themselves, so 10 more years left. They cannot get another body, they're hanging there. Now they can't even enjoy, they can't even express, they can't even do anything, right? All those things happens. Thank you all very much. We'll continue more discussion next class. We have to chant. Last time we did not do, so let's do this time. 4 minutes for 12. Another 4 more minutes, we should be done with the chanting. Before that, any announcements, Ashok?
So we have a class tomorrow, one class for the children here, 1:30, and class for Sabbath is not today, mistake for the so we leave and lunch at 8 temple, so please take the chocolates from that. Anything else? The good class there?
So please, thank you. Please, because we important thing, but this will answer us, give us more faith towards what's happening and towards God. So rethink about it, come up with more questions. If you have anything, go through the slides. That will help because this is an important topic, as you can see. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Sri Krishna Chaitanya.